Hi everyone, good morning, good evening, good night. How are you? Alright, so in today's video, I am introducing trigonometry and in particular trigonometric ratio. So you need to be able to label a right angled triangle correctly. You need to be able to find the length of a side using trigonometry. And you should be able to find an angle using trigonometry. Of course, I will not be doing all of that in this one video, so there'll be another video, right? But let's see what we can cover. All right, so we need to be able to label the sides of a triangle. First thing is that we have the Greek letter theta, which represents the angle. And you should recall that the longest side of a right angle triangle is the hypotenuse, the slant side, right? The hypotenuse. Then you need to be able to identify the side that is opposite to the acute angle that you are given in the triangle. And that side, you will always be able to draw an arrow from the angle to the side that is opposite to it. So if you look at the side down here, you can't draw an arrow across to the side because it's right there beside the angle pretty much. Alright, so the side opposite is on the other side of the angle. Right, and then we have, so as you can see right there, the opposite side is located opposite to the included angle. The included angle refers to the acute angle. Then we have the adjacent side, which is located between the right angle and the included angle. So on the adjacent side, you will see the right angle and the acute angle. Alright, so let's see if you're getting the drift of this, because looking at trigonometric ratio, you need to be able to identify the side opposite to the angle and the side adjacent to the angle and the hypotenuse. If you can't identify those, then you cannot use the trigonometric ratios. Alright, so let's look at this triangle. It is a right angle triangle, which is very important because we use the trigonometric ratios with right angle triangles. We have side A and B. Here is the angle, the acute angle. How would you label side A? Yes, that is correct. It is the longest side on the triangle, so it is the hypotenuse. How would you label side B? Alright, so it is directly across from the acute angle, so it is opposite. Beautiful, beautiful. So if you are able to identify the hypotenuse and the adjacent, then of course the other one that is not labeled is the adjacent side. And notice that the right angle and the angle is on the adjacent side. Let's look at this triangle here. Here is our acute angle. In relation to the acute angle, what is side C? Brilliant! Yes, it is opposite to the acute angle. Let's look at side D. What is it? Beautiful. You are learning. Side D is adjacent because if you notice, it has on the right angle and the acute angle on it. So that is the adjacent side. Let's look at the third triangle here. Alright. So F again is the slant side, the longest side on the triangle, which is always opposite to the right angle. It is the hypotenuse. And then we have E. And if you look carefully, you'll realize that the right angle and the acute angle is on the line E. So that means it is the adjacent side. Keep that in mind. Now let's look at the trigonometric ratios. There are 3, and if you should look on your calculator, you've always seen these words, but you didn't have a clue. Now you are being introduced to them. You have the sine ratio, and the ratio is a comparison between two amounts, right, or a measure. So when we talk about ratio, we're talking about the comparison between two lengths of the triangle, the right angle triangle in particular. So we have the sine ratio, and sine theta, and remember theta represents the angle, is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So it's a side opposite to the acute angle divided by the hypotenuse. So if you look in this triangle, here is an angle, the acute angle, and the side opposite to it, and the hypotenuse is what you would use to solve a problem involving. So the sine ratio would be the ratio that you would use to solve a problem that involves the hypotenuse and the side opposite to the angle. Cosine ratio says cos theta is equal to the side adjacent to the angle divided by the hypotenuse. So if the problem involves the adjacent side and the hypotenuse, then you are going to use cos theta to solve the problem. Tangent ratio, shortened form tan. Tan theta is equal to the side opposite to the angle divided by the side adjacent to the angle. So if the problem involves the adjacent side and the opposite side, you're looking to use tan theta. And we have a abbreviation to help you remember: SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, tan is opposite over adjacent. And that is how to solve these problems. Ask yourself 3 questions. What length was I given? Was it the opposite? Was it the hypotenuse? Was it the adjacent length? What length was I asked for? Was it the opposite? Was it the adjacent? Was it the hypotenuse? Which trig ratio used these two lengths that I would have written down in the first part? And that is how you select which one to use. I will see you in the next video with some examples. Goodbye.